it again, or?
Not really, no. Wasn't a very in-depth character.
Okay. And speaking of controversy and things like that, you managed to keep your nose fairly clean during the shooting of Kill
Not
Phil.
really, had a fair bit of blood on me.
Well, not just that, but the other speculation, of course, is the bleeding nose. A lot of MPs, not MPs, MDs, seem to think that comes from a coke habit.
Well, I've been addicted for many years now.
To cocaine.
I'm out of the closet with it. You know, everybody knows. But
Well, you're an actor, you're a high-profile actor. You know, name me one actor who doesn't do cocaine. You know?
well,
But name me one who does openly, and I would say you, Lucy. You know, I'd admire you for that. Obviously not for the cocaine habit. Tell me about who you worked with on the set of Kill Phil.
I work with Josh, Sebastian, Emma.
What's the scene like?
Top profile.
Okay, and now, if you could have a bit of a bitch about anyone that you worked with on the set of Kill Phil,
Okay, well,
who would it be? And give us a few minutes of bitching.
probably director Ben Waterworth.
Ben Waterworth. Now, this is striking me as odd because his name keeps popping up when I ask this question. Tell me what you'd have to say, and make it original, about Ben Waterworth.
Well, I don't know. There's a reason why everybody said that for that question.
Well, come on, I mean, you got to give us more content than that from the start.
Let's go.
Yeah.
From where?
So, all right, Lucy, you've been working on the set with a bunch of high-profile actors such as Ben Waterworth and Joshua Shubish. Can you give me a bit of a bitch about them? Choose anyone at random. It doesn't matter who. Show me
That's a
some.
tough one as there was quite a lot of fights behind
Quite a lot
the
of
scenes.
fights.
Yeah.
Can you give our viewers an insight?
You know, everyone wanting to be on camera, you know, things like that. But I don't know, Ben maybe because he controlled everything. People felt a bit.
Ben's often been described as a bitch.
Yeah.
Very sexist bitch. Did you find him sexist?
Yes, at times, giving most of the why kill Phil? I mean, why not kill Billy?
Well, there you go. Phyllis, Magda, Thelma, Gretchen, Greta, kill Greta. You know?
Yeah, why Phil?
Why Phil? Indeed. Just on a final note, are you suicidal, Lucy?
Well, you know, the coke's keeping me happy.
Because, I mean, Kill Phil has generated a rather large suicide statistic. The people starring in it are all appearing dead in their hotel rooms with the DVD player, you know. Is it killing?
It's killing me inside. It's killing my brain.
Killing your brain?
Yeah.
Well, you're a brave actor.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
You're a bat. Thank you, Lucy. I've heard about the sexual fetishes. Tell us what it's like working with Tim.
Well, I had my pet duck there on the first day of shooting. Tim was there. Can't have eggs anymore.
But the magazines, I mean, all the newspapers did have eggs, but they were just different shaped. Can you honestly sit down on a morning and crack open one of these hard-boiled eggs when it's in the shape of a phallus?
Not anymore.
A small phallus.
Tim ruined my duck's life. And my sheep!
Well, okay, tell us about the sheep.
Well, he was going to be an extra for the scene where with the final battle between me and Phil. Tim raped and murdered my sheep.
Okay, well, I understand that this is a sensitive topic, so what we'll do is we'll move on and we'll ask you more about working with Anthony Moran.
Okay. He's a great bloke. Bad actor, but he's a great bloke.
I guess, as you've said to me earlier, he comforted you in your time of need.
Yeah.
Shortly after the sheep incident.
Yeah. went out to the pub. Bought me a new sheep. It's a great bloke.
Okay. Now, working on the Setter kill, Phil, you had to deal with a lot of pyrotechnics, ammunition, blanks, things like that. I heard you actually got shot, and with a blank. So there was no wound, but I hear that being a bit of a hypochondriac, you were quite worried for your life and end up being taken away to hospital.
Well, the hypochondriac, well, that's a lie. That's, what happened was there was a bit of shrapnel stuck in the barrel of the gun that the gunsmith missed, and got lodged in between my leg right there, and I had operation to get the pyramidal out 3 months ago, and all was fine.
Okay, so now tell me a little bit more about. I'm sorry, I concentrate. We can cut that, right? That's cool, because you'll be cutting back and forth to different people.
Cut my laugh too, couldn't help it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just out of fuel. I don't know what else to talk about.
Filming.
You've worked with some of Hollywood's finer actors, and among them, some of the more attractive actors. I mean, you worked closely with Rachel. You're now on first name basis with her. Just out of curiosity, was it in the script or was it improvisation when she? I can't give too much away, but when she hops up on top of you on the bed.
Well, with Rachel, fine piece of meat she is. Not really. She's a great girl.
So she's not a fine piece of meat.
No, she's actually quite pretty. For a teenager, she's quite pretty. Especially for Tasmanian girls, the way they go, she's in the top 10 of the girls I know. So, it was scripted, but not as much as it was.
Okay, and being a teenager yourself, did you encounter, it's hard, but it's easy for a guy to say this to another guy, did anything, were any issues raised that wouldn't go away?
No, not really. There was one incident, but I don't think she really cared. She was smiling a lot.
Really?
Yeah. But anyway, no. Let's move on to another topic. Very, very touchy topic. That
You've thrown me. I mean, you've given a dog a bone here. You can't just take it away from me now.
Oh yes, I can.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll move on to working with Emma.
Yes, Emma.
I don't know if you know about this, in a recent interview, she described you as a hot piece of meat that she'd love to do.
Ooh.
What are your feelings about that? Can you see something ever happening with Emma?
No, not really. Good girl, but she more likes Ben, as we saw behind the scenes. Her and Ben every night. His trailer, his caravan. So lights on, and then off. Seriously.
Testing the good old suspension.
Yes, the suspension on the thing I think was changed at least 3 times during filming.
Yeah, well, I heard about that. I saw the budget list, so I was wondering about that. I was actually going to ask you, but you've already covered my base. What I would like to ask you, though, now this is getting personal, but the public want to know, have the charges been dropped against you?
Yeah, that clown molesting incident has been dropped.
I mean, what, they never even got the proof anyway, did they?
Acquitted.
Acquitted.
I've been acquitted because of lack of evidence. So.
Well, congratulations, good for you, and hopefully great times ahead for you in the future.
Oh, of course.
Okay, the question's been raised many a time. You're a man with power. You got a great name for yourself. You're rich, you're loaded, you've got your own mansions, chalets, everything under the sun. You've got it. Okay, you are Ben Waterworth. Everyone's heard the name sooner or later. First of all, the rumours. Okay, the question was raised at the premiere, okay, by Adam Cousins, great celebrity. Is it true?
Sorry.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. The gay community of Australia, they see you as a massive icon. A massive, big, giant icon. What do you think of that?
To be quite honest, I'm flattered. I think this came from my affair with Kylie Minogue. Back when me and Miss Minogue were seeing each other.
I've done Kylie, everyone's done Kylie.
Yes, well, the thing is, I think it was a bit more prolific when I did it, because I'm slightly more famous than you see. I've got 3 Oscars to my
Do you
name.
have your own weekly show?
No, but I have 3 Oscars to my name, and I think that kind of, puts me up there. But with Miss Minogue, I think, because she's a big icon in the gay community, and when I dumped her, they started seeing a lot of me with Michael Jackson. And look,
Well, you being a young boy, of
yes,
course.
exactly. They thought they raised questions about my sexuality, and look, I was offended at first, but to be honest, I'm quite flattered, really, because if people think of me in different ways than just a highly hot sexual fantasy guy that they want to dream about, that's fair enough. Women think about that all the time. I've had women come up to me on the street and said, "Oh, look, I was with my husband the other night, but I was thinking of you," and I was just flattered. And about a couple of weeks ago, I was in San Francisco for an interview, and walking down the street, and this gay guy comes up to me. He's all in his fairy costume and his little hair, and it made me feel sick. But he came up to me and he's like, "Darling, sweetie, I was with my boyfriend the other night, and I just couldn't stop thinking of you." And look, I thought I'd be offended. I thought I'd bash the shit out of him. I thought I'd call security, getting killed, whatever. But I wasn't offended at all. And about my sexuality, look, I'm as straight as a line. But mate, if gay people want to think of me as hot and sexy, I'm flattered.
That'd be a male line.
A what? Sorry.
A male line, straight as a male.
No, that would be straight as just a line with which I have sexual intercourse with women. Yes.
Yeah, there's a line that you're interested in. So
No, I'm
sexual-
not into lines. But if there's a line and it's straight, that's me.
You do a straight line.
Look, if the straight line had tits and a pussy, of course it would.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Photos of you and your African safari actually show you getting up very close and personal with the lionesses.
Oh, the line. Oh, right. Look, I think that strings back to the set of Kill Field with the duck and sheep incident. I'm sure you've heard of it. That was a very emotional time for us on the set, because Josh was very attached to his sheep. Came back from his trip to New Zealand
And found Tim attached to his sheep.
Well, look, Tim has worried me. Look, just to be honest with this, ever since we had a location shoot, since we've done Stalker, I don't know if you've seen that one. Of course you've seen that one, the Academy Award-winning Stalker, bloody good film. He played, of course, the homeless beggar, and he got into the role of the homeless beggar beautifully. He spent a week on the streets of New York City in the gutters begging for money. Right? Okay. Now, he told me about an encounter he came across with this African American who had just come from New Zealand. And this is a big story, but I'm going to chop it down. Now, this African American had gone to New Zealand and got very attached to a sheep. Now, I was a bit stirred by this, and I've just ignored it. Now, Tim then started having some weird fetishes. I went to his house for a nice, lovely dinner with his then wife at the time.
And he had a record of lamb.
He wanted to eat his record of lamb in private, and that kind of worried me. And I knocked on his door, and he hid the lamb under the bed, and I thought, oh, what's going on here? And I looked on his wall, and of course, I should see posters of hot, attractive women, There was pictures of, Wallace and Gromit, sheep. There's one of those pictures where you count the sheep. There was this, a picture of Bugs Bunny in women's clothing. I don't know if you remember the episodes where he used to dress up in women's clothing. That kind of scared me. But just on the set of Kill Field, Josh had been to New Zealand, bought himself a sheep, and within a week that sheep was gone and found dead and had been raped and mutilated. And the duck, well, look, I've seen those eggs and they're not normal, and that kind of freaks me out. And I don't know how big or small Tim is, but whatever he's done to that poor duck, I fear for its, safety. I shouldn't be left alone in a room with this poor duck. Yes, can we move along from that? Very
Just one tail question. Do you find yourself now counting sheep before you roll over and go to sleep?
I'm actually very afraid of sheep now, because what I've seen done to sheep, and what they can do to humans if they're aggravated scares the shit out of me.
Well, you've done some work with the RSPCA recently. Is that stemmed from this sheep experience?
I need closure. I really need closure with animals, and just working with them really helps me. I'm not attracted to them sexually. That's not my field. Ask Tim about that. But look, working with dogs, cats, and that, that's really given me good closure.
Just gets you going.
Yes. Oh, not like that. Not like that. And if I did, that would be my private life.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so are you hinting at something?
Look, I would experiment, but not in the public eye.
Fair enough. I mean,
I'm willing to try anything once.
start off with fruit and basically work your way
Yes.
down
Fruit's easy.
the nutritious pyramid.
Yes. The pyramid's always good.
It's a guide to safe sex. Anyway, moving on. Basically, have a bitch. I've been asking everyone I've spoken to today, have a bitch about Josh, if that's well, Josh, a big old bitch about you, so.
Look, to be honest, I have nothing against Josh really. I mean, he can be an arsehole, he can be a prick, he can be a prima donna, he can be, you know, lots of things, but he's a good bloke, and at the end of
So
the
you're going to be the bigger man.
Look, I'm not a sook. I will take things on the chin, and look, I will hire him for any movie. And look, if we do a Kill Field 2,
Which chin?
probably the fourth one down here on the right hand side. That's my favourite chin. I've given that one a name. That's actually Sam.
You've actually got something on your chin.
Yes, that's
That other one.
Yes, well, that's a bit of decoration I put. Just the makeup, put it on there for this interview. I don't have a lot of time. I'm actually appearing on Letterman tonight, so I've got to be on the plane very soon. But yeah, look, Josh, great bloke, and look, the Oscar he won for Stalker, he wouldn't have won that if it wasn't for me. So fair enough. He'll probably win an Oscar for Kill Field. I'll probably win one. I'll definitely
You
win
should
one.
get up there on stage and accept it
I
on
did
behalf.
do that at the Academy Awards. He went up to get his Oscar, but I told him to sit the fuck down, otherwise he's not going to be in another movie. So I took his Oscar. The Oscar's on my shelf at home, and I invite him over like every couple of months to have a look at it. Oh look, I let him get within 2 meters of once, but the security, they didn't know, so they shot him in the leg.
Well,
But that was in my summer home in Florida, which is number 13, I think, in that area of town. Yes.
Well, I mean, obviously I've had first-hand experience with you, and I can say that the international...
I thought we weren't going to talk about that, Jeremy. That's private information. Thank you.
The international media's got it wrong.
Yes.
You are a selfless, kind-hearted man. You are outgoing. You looks to me like you take in your actors like they were your own children.
Well, I'm not Michael Jackson, but I do, get very intimate with some of them. Like if they were my children, yes. But not Michael Jackson era. But Michael's a great bloke. Nothing against you, Michael. Great guy. Yes. Are we finished? Is this it? We over?
Thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you.